Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane. This is Altcoin Disrupt. So we've gone through a redesigning recently, new logo as you can see, new header, and I think the YouTube channel actually looks a lot more clearer and a lot more professional. Today we'll be having a look at Bitcoin. So this will be a price analysis. We've got a lot of news, Trump calls a Bitcoin scam. So he's been against Bitcoin for quite some time, and he's still against Bitcoin. But most importantly, is that with these billionaires such as Trump, even though they're against Bitcoin, they're the main buyers of Bitcoin, in my opinion, because it's money. They're always looking to make money, but they just don't want other people to get rich. So it's a hard way of learning. But yeah, we're going to have a look at Bitcoin a year ago, right? Let's start a year ago. A year ago exactly, actually. We're looking at Bitcoin right now, and it was less than 10,000 US dollar per Bitcoin. And compared to what it is now, a lot of people would say this was dead cheap, to be honest, compared to what Bitcoin is now and where it was. Now, if you remember, actually back in April, Bitcoin was at around 62,000, almost 63,000. Absolutely incredible. I think it did get to 64,000, almost 65,000 US dollars. That was huge. But as you can see, recently with all the negative news, and I think the momentum has died a lot. So a lot of people have been selling off, and a lot of people have been buying back just to make that money. So as you can see, if you have a look from April the 14th, obviously it was at its all-time high. Then a lot of people sold off, and it went down to like 48,000. But why? As obviously you can see, a lot of people actually bought back in the next following month, and it actually went back up to around, 58,000, which is huge, by the way. And then it went down a little bit, then it went back up to around 58,000 again. So obviously, as you can see, it was a little bit of a manipulation, in my opinion, because you don't just fall from 64K all the way down to less than 50K, and then you rise back to 58K. That's a lot of manipulation. Also, there's a lot of people selling to get their profit, but also buying back when the price is low to make a profit again. Really clever, but we've seen it times and times again. So let's have a look further down the line, right? We're looking at May, right? We're looking at May 23rd, 36 grand. And a lot of people in the space thought, okay, this is where it is. It's obviously going to go back up really soon, but then it didn't. It didn't go back up. In actuality, it actually kept on going back down to 33 grand. So what can we expect from Bitcoin? The question is, will it dump or will it pump? Will it go higher? Right? That's a huge question for me. Right now, I think specifically, I think it could definitely dump. I think it could definitely go below 30 grand. I think it'll definitely dump. I think it'll definitely go below 30 grand. I think the momentum has definitely died down a little bit, but that's not really why. I genuinely think a lot of people are selling off to make their profit, but also a lot of people are just going to buy back into Bitcoin when the price goes below 30 grand to make a huge profit again. So it's a monopoly. It's also a bit of a cycle. So it's a typical, sell off, wait until the price drop below a certain margin, like 30 grand. It's a great buying price. Under 30 grand is a great buying price, because then if it doubles again, goes back up to 60 grand, you're basically doubling your money, which means that if you put in a million, you're making 2 million. You're doubling your money. And a lot of people want to double their money. So a lot of people are thinking in this way. They're thinking, hold on, I want to double my money, which is exactly why you can see the price went from 31 grand up to 34 grand. Because a lot of people said, okay, that's quite close to 30 grand. That's quite close to being below 30 grand. Let me buy some now just in case it doesn't go below 30 grand. So as you can see, I don't think it'll be easy to go below 30 grand, but I definitely think it's possible, because I think that's a great buying price for a lot of people. I think if it does go below 30 grand as well, you're going to see a huge price surge. If you don't see a huge price surge, then you're looking at 27 grand, 26 grand in the next few months. But again, that's just a really good buying price for a lot of people. So I definitely think we're in the dumping stage, but we're also in the making money stage. This 24 hours period right here, this is where a lot of people are making a lot of money right there. this line right there. They buy when it's really low, and look, it just made them a few grand, and then it keeps on going up, made them a few more grand, and guess what? They're gonna sell off really soon. They sold right around here, and it went back down, right? It went back down. So this was around, what was this, 10 o'clock? Right around this time, around midnight, they sold, and it went back down around 3 o'clock. And guess what they did? They stopped buying again to make some more money, and then they're gonna sell again, and it's gonna have a little bit of a dip. So that's trading. That's trading. That's how people make money. But long term speaking, in the next few months, actually in the next few weeks and few months, I think it got a huge potential that it could dip below 30 grand, and that's dumping in my opinion. But long term, we all know that Bitcoin will go back up to like 60 grand, 100 grand, eventually 200 grand. So there's no need to worry. You know, this happens all the time in cryptocurrency where the price crash, but it always goes back up. So it's Bitcoin, you know, it's digital gold. It's never going to be unvaluable. It'll always be valuable. So what's going on with Trump, right? Trump's comments are in line with the previous exposed view on Bitcoin. Indeed, back in July 2019, while in office, Trump stated that he was not a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But Trump is a huge fan of making money, which is why I think that a lot of people like Trump, when they say they're not a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, what they're actually saying is they just don't want to admit that they're wrong. They just don't want to admit that actually Bitcoin could make them a lot of money, and it is making them a lot of money. A lot of these people are investing in Bitcoin, such as Trump, but he's not going to tell you that because he doesn't want to face the hard truth. He doesn't want people to say, "Oh, but you said you didn't like it. You said it was bad for the economy. You said it was bad for the world. Now you're investing in it." He doesn't want to say he's wrong. There's a lot of other people out there, a lot of other billionaires and millionaires, they don't want to admit that they're wrong, and they probably never will. So what they do, they just talk bad shit about cryptocurrency. And sometimes this works towards our benefit because, as you can see, you look at a lot of celebrities such as Elon Musk, a lot of other celebrities such as Trump, famous people really, you know, what they do, they talk a lot of shit and the price dips, right? The price dips, it loses a bit of momentum. And guess what these billionaires are doing? They're buying up. They're buying a lot of cryptocurrency. They wait until it goes highs and then they sell. They're manipulating it. So you can't trust anyone. You really can't. But in my opinion, pay Trump no attention. You can't really pay anyone attention. You know, Trump says Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam. I don't really like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. Especially it is a currency competing against the dollar. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world. That's what I've always said. So in that statement, basically what he's saying is, yes, the US dollar is the currency of the world because every other currency in the world, like fiat currency, such as the pound, the yen, Australian dollar, they're all backed by the US dollar. Even Russia's money, every money in the world, fiat money, is backed by the US dollar, right? And this is a long story. I'm not going to go into it, but the US was very clever in how they designed the monetary system in the world. They were very clever. They did a great job, but they want to keep that supremacy. They don't want Bitcoin to compete against them. So what he's basically saying is he doesn't actually dislike Bitcoin because he doesn't like the idea. He just doesn't like the idea that America cannot be in charge. So Mark Larsby, co-founder and CEO of Avenue Capital Group, believes that despite recent volatility in the crypto market, it is likely isn't going away. Of course it's not going away. So you're right about that. It's never going away. We've seen Bitcoin dip below 3 grand before, and this was 2020, right? This is just recently, just the other day, right? So obviously it's not going anywhere. So once a market is created, it is there, and that's fact. The probability, as more and more people keep using Bitcoin, is going to keep moving up. It happened a little bit quicker than I thought it would, but obviously a lot of people are starting to take a lot of notice. When Bitcoin hits 60 grand, it says to a lot of people, I'm here and I'm ready to show you my full potential, for sure. So in his words, I should have bought a lot more. That was my mistake. Well, that was everyone's mistake. I think everyone can say to themselves and to everyone We should have bought more Bitcoin. That's just fact. But listen, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this price analysis video. As you can see, the price of Bitcoin has actually gone down to less than 34 grand right now. So that's insane. So that's insane in itself. So I think it dropped like $400 in the space of making this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Subscribe, still rank #1 in the world. I hope you guys have enjoyed this price analysis, and I will see you guys in the next one.